Thursday, a burglar dropped in. Within minutes, he grabbed all the sausage he could carry.
Catching her red-handed, or in this case, red meat-handed.
They say more towns will be pressing more charges against the accused meat thieves.
His target every time is meat, and not the cheap stuff.
This surveillance video showing a thief cooking up an unusual crime.
He ended up stealing a bunch of meat.
You want to know who always plays such a vital role in neighborhoods all across America? The Meat Man, or the Meat Woman. Every day these brave souls put their freedom on the line to make sure the locals can eat oxtails for 60% off. That 4th of July barbecue your uncle threw was successful as hell. Y'all had ribs for days, thanks to the Meat Man, or the Meat Woman. That surf and turf your mama had for her Bible club, she had New York strips for days to go with that lobster. A1 sauce dripping every goddamn well. Them New York strips came from the Meat Man, or the Meat Woman. Those poor Christian ladies had no idea they was indulging in the flavors of crime. That crispy bacon, those Roger Wood sausages your grandma had laid out in the morning on Christmas, that swine came from the Meat Man, or the Meat Woman. That swine was marinated in delicious flavors of misdemeanor activities. You paid $21 for that pack of whole wings. I paid $7. You paid $24 for them St. Louis style baby back ribs. Well, guess what I paid? I paid $5. The Meat Man wanted $8, but I talked them down. I just paid $12 for a pack of whole wings and a rack of baby back ribs, thanks to the Meat Man, or the Meat Woman. Now I can finally have that little barbecue with your baby mama like I promised her. But she gotta pay for the charcoal. The hell she think this is? She gotta pay for something. The Meat Man, or the Meat Woman, is an American hero that never got their flowers. But we gon' give them their flowers in this video. We gon' dedicate this video to the $2 Negro with some Team Jordans on that he got from his granddaddy, who just be showing up at the barbershop talking about he got packs of pork chops for $3 a piece. I made this video for you. This is for the young lady that was selling plates, but her food stamps got cut off, so she resorted to being a meat bandit, and I ain't talking about $40. This video is for you. Damn sure they got a nice ass on her. Oh, never mind. She got a 15-pound brisket in her jeans. How much you selling that thing for, baby? $40? $40? I was talking about the brisket, not the ass. I'll be damned. But anyways, this video is dedicated to the meat bandits, and I ain't talking about your baby mama. From my neighborhood to other neighborhoods across America, the Meat Man and the Meat Woman, you are highly appreciated.
New tonight, a burglar is caught on camera in a strange beef burglary.
Yeah, police say he jumped through a hole in the roof of a West Orlando mom-and-pop grocery store, and when he landed, he went to town on one of the store's meat cases. Officers say he broke in yesterday at the family food store on Gore Street. West 2's Bob Keeling spoke with the store manager, who says petty crime has become an annoying way of life.
We're just after midnight Thursday, a burglar dropped in. Within minutes, he grabbed all the sausage he could carry. The burglar doesn't bother to cover his face, even though surveillance cameras are in plain view. Estevez says he recognizes him from the neighborhood.
Even if they do pick him up, he's probably going to spend maybe a couple weeks in jail. When he gets back out, he lives in the neighborhood, so whenever he has the opportunity or the will, he's going to try it again.
Estevez showed us a folder stuffed with police reports. He says he averages 3 to 4 shoplifters a week, 5 burglaries, and 5 vandalism cases a year here at Family Foods on West Gore Street.
Now, out of all the things you could have took, you took some goddamn sausages. No homo. A pack of Roger Woods holds a grocery store value of $4.48. So if you divide that by 2, that's $2.24. $2.24 is the street value for a pack of Roger Woods. So basically, you risking your freedom for nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I came across you in the streets and you had 8 boxes of Roger Woods and you were selling them for $2.24 a box, I'ma buy you out. But I'm winning in that situation. You ain't. I just paid $17.92 for 8 boxes of Roger Woods. No homo. And you just made $17.92. What you gonna get with that? A 0.3 of crack? You did all that for a 0.3. You worked your ass off for a 0.3. If you factor in the man hours and labor that you put in for that 0.3 of crack, it doesn't make sense business-wise.
On the story for us today, and Lee, you actually have surveillance video of this crime taking place.
I do, Byron Lanise. It's a wild story. The restaurant's manager tells me they've seen her before. Just last week, she paid for a taco using coins. However, this week, no payment involved, and it's what happened after a foot chase ensued that really took employees by surprise.
It may have been Taco Tuesday at El Rincon Tacos and Grill, but this patron bypassing the front door, instead letting herself into the back storage area. Normally locked, she was able to get inside. Unfolding yesterday around 1:30, she was in there for a little over 2 minutes. The manager tells me she'd help herself to a drill, some Fabuloso, and this huge hunk of meat from the freezer. But it was nowhere near a clean getaway. This is what we call a true caught in the act. As she exits the storage room, an employee comes out the back door, catching her red-handed, or in this case, red meat-handed. With the meat, drill, and Fabuloso on hand, she takes off behind the building. Take a look at this. Employees running out the back door through this alleyway chase her to this brown utility pole. That's where she drops the meat, runs to the neighboring parking lot, where we're told the altercation took place. The suspect is identified as 48-year-old Kelly Trammell. According to jail records, she's homeless. The manager tells me at some point Trammell threw a chemical on one of the employees before running across 7 lanes of traffic on Theodore Dawes to this car wash. By now, Mobile police were already en route, arresting her a short time later.
I know she don't got a problem keeping a man. She know exactly where to find the meat, and she ain't shy about snagging that meat up. Ladies, take notes. You can learn a thing or two from her. But she had the right idea though. That is some premium USDA certified Angus. You can burrito taco that thing, carne asada that thing. You can even make some top of the line nachos. That premium USDA beef gon' run you about $200 off Uber Eats. So it holds a street value of $30 to $45. You can get a whole gram of some premium stepped on 3 times Hannah Montana with $30 to $45. Oh yeah, she came up. This crime was most definitely worth it. Shout out to her.
Police say a stolen meat ring has been busted. 2 men from Massachusetts were arrested, accused of selling stolen meat out of a van to get drug money. Pelham police explained to WMUR's Gene Mackin how they believe the men pulled it off.
They've been experiencing numerous thefts of packaged meat and shrimp, stuff like that. There was a quantity almost up to $800 worth of items that had been stolen out of Hannaford. Our patrolmen were immediately in the area, and we were finally able to pin them down and identify them and arrest them.
42-year-old Andrew Soukalis and 43-year-old Michael Radcliffe, both from Lowell, Massachusetts, were arrested. Their red van impounded. Police say it had 2 different license plates, both stolen out of Lowell, where investigators suspect the men were also selling the stolen meat.
We believe at this point they were taking those items and they were going into the inner city. They were selling them for a discounted rate and utilizing the money to purchase drugs.
Now how in the hell do they know they was doing that for drug money? Did they tell y'all that? These 2 gentlemen, these 2 fathers had families to feed. And you trying to twist up the story. Pathetic. They ain't do it for no drugs. They did it for the kids. That's why I hate the media. Always trying to twist up stories, painting a negative picture of people. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. And you want to know how I know that these 2 gentlemen are fathers and they was doing this for their kids? Look at what they was driving. A goddamn Dodge Caravan. Only dedicated fathers who are willing to risk their freedom to feed their kids are driving Dodge Caravans. And that's a scientific fact. But these 2 dedicated fathers, oh nah, they wasn't playing though. They hit up every grocery store in the goddamn city, taking all the oxtails, pig feet, and grass-fed beef. I wasn't able to find the exact amount of meat that they stole, so I can't give you an estimated street value. But I will say this, if you call yourself being a meat bandit to over 10 grocery stores, you made well over $1,000. And if you ask me, any crime committed that ends up in you making over $1,000, that's a win. So yes, these fantastic fathers, they got the W in this situation.
He's dressed in camouflage gear, but there's no hiding from these cameras. This is a serial shoplifter with expensive taste.
This guy won't stop. We're going to call this guy the Invisible Bandit.
Managing to avoid capture despite hitting Drake's supermarkets a staggering 15 times in the past 2 weeks from Semaphore to Gawler. His target every time is meat, and not the cheap stuff.
All of this quality meat, the Angus Pure, the Wagyu meat is exactly what he's going for.
All up, he's made off with more than $5,000 worth, and his MO is clear. After casually entering the store, he grabs a basket, heads straight for the meat section and selects his favourite cuts. He then finds a camera black spot where he hides the meat under his jacket. Finally, he beelines to the checkout, pays for something small and leaves.
He seems to make meat disappear. Just like that. It's magic, but it's not the magic we like to see.
While shoplifters are often desperate people struggling to put food on the table, this offender's motivation may be more sinister. 7 News has learned high-end meat like this and other expensive supermarket items are being used more and more as a currency to pay for drugs.
15 times in the past 2 weeks, this is a true master of his craft. This man wasn't just born to be wild, this man was born to steal. You gotta go to school and get certified to be that good at stealing. And he got expensive taste. Wagyu, he was hitting y'all up for the Wagyu, $5,000 worth of meat. This man was trying to buy him a used Harley Davidson. He trying to ride into the sunlight with a young, hot tenderoni in the middle of June. This is a man that truly knows how to live. And the reason why he has never been caught 15 times is because, look at him. According to the standards of society, he looked like he can afford it. He is not the target of a mystery shopper. Somebody that looks like me is the target of a mystery shopper. And he knows that. That's why every time he goes in there, he makes sure I'm in there. That way I can distract them and he can do what he got to do. Now that's what I call strategy. A true expert in his field. He made $5,000 in profit. And like I said before, any crime committed that ends with you making $1,000 or better is a crime worth doing. Sounds like a goddamn win to me. Shouts out to this Australian meat bandit. No homo.
Ribs and other meat stolen in the middle of the afternoon from a busy H-E-B. An employee trying to stop them. You can see that right here. All of it caught on cell phone camera last Friday. Here's 25 News reporter Jarrell Baker.
It's so bizarre, it's almost hard to believe.
I knew something was going on, but I didn't know it was a big crime.
Caught on video, a store worker desperately trying to stop 2 women from stealing around $2,000 worth of meat from an H-E-B in Temple Friday. Gilbert Quinteros captured the incident on his phone, saying he pushed record just in case if an incident or an accident happened. He says one of the suspects damaged his car with a cart, so he then posted the video to track down the culprit.
The event that occurred on Friday, of course, was a rather large amount of meat.
Police will say they're also working with the store for other surveillance videos. Police say the suspects' faces are caught on the video as well as their license plate.
That employee needs a raise and a badge of honor. But in all actuality, that employee just gonna get a pat on the back. That employee better than me because me, myself, dog, I would have been like, shit, I get paid to bag groceries. I don't get paid to fight crime. This employee went above and beyond. How you end up outside of the store with the perpetrator? Getting elbowed in the face, getting kneed in the gut. I heard auntie pulled out a strap and the employee still ain't back down. Putting her life on the line for them oxtails and chicken wings, making $12.58 an hour. I'll be damned. And let's talk about the perpetrator. Auntie got some real skills. She whooping ass and putting groceries up at the same damn time. I know for a fact her grandkids are well behaved. Their grandma is a UFC fighter. This has been part 1 of the Meat Bandits. No homo. Part 2 coming soon.